Excellent. So good evening, everybody. Welcome. Being a Sunday, we are back and we are talking matters health, how we can live a longer, healthier life. And today we are especially privileged to have a very, very special guest speaker, somebody who has a vast of experience in the wellness space. And she's going to handle the topic of women health. And this is a very, very exciting topic. Remember, women take up 85% of the population, and this is amazing. So without further ado, I want to invite Gladys Njura. Gladys, you can take it away.
Wow, thank you so much, Freddie. Asante sana. We are always ever grateful to you for your resilience to maintain this day where we come and learn and have discussions together. We don't take it for granted, for sure. So I want to say hello to everyone on the call. Wherever you're logged in, I know we have many people logging in from different places, but we always say that we are a NeoLife family. And the NeoLife family is a community of people who love on each other. No matter where we are, we love on each other, we support each other, we encourage each other. And my goodness, that is really exciting. So my name is Gladys Njura. I'm logging in from Nairobi. And Gladys is somebody who I bumped into the health industry by flukes, let me say that, because I didn't know this was what I was getting into. Because the first day I got involved in this wellness industry, I was invited to come and look at her company that does business. I didn't know what business, and I could make additional income and maybe one day start traveling the world. That ignited a spark in me. And I had gone to school. I'm a trained teacher by profession. I had gone to campus, cleared campus, gotten into the banking industry. I had worked in the bank, one of the banks, for 5 years. It was a good job. But by the time someone invited me on a day like this to come and have a look, I was really in need of some additional income. And so basically what I did is I attended a meeting and thereafter consequent meetings, and I loved what I saw. And what I came to understand is that what we do, we are in the wellness space, and more specifically the preventive health. Very broad in terms of not just the body, but the environment, the skin. I mean, just so broad, even how we take care of our homes on the outside, the inside. And that's how I got hooked up. And I'm not about to look back. And our mission is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. So if you're on the call, karibu sana. Karibu means welcome. And we are going to share with you some very important things that can help you and help people in your family. We really hope that what we are going to speak today is something that you're going to take very seriously and that it can help somebody later in life. You know, one thing I came to realize is that the world is full of people who are very well read. People have read many things, complicated things in life, you know, very, very complicated things. Calculus, going to the moon, ICT, AI. But one of the things that people are ignoring in today's life is matters health. And so if we all can be keen on matters health, we are going to save a life, we are going to help other people, and it will really be surely good. And just trying to set up something, then we can start off. So yeah, when we talk about, today we are talking about women health, and everybody is related to a woman in one way or another. That is for sure. In one way or another, we are related to a woman. And women are a great species because, I mean, we cannot have people in the world without women. And I know even if we have men on the call, you do have some very special women in your life. Very, very special. In fact, some of the most special people are the women in your life, starting with your mother, your sisters, your colleagues, your cousins, and all that. But let's just go straight away to health. I'll first start with a general health that can benefit everyone. And then I now go to specifically women health, because women, as much as we are talking of that species, we do have a lot of challenges. I think women have more challenges in life than men. If we look at it on a general sense, women could be having more challenges than men. But on a general sense, everybody needs to know how to take care of their health. And so we are talking about health, the health of a human being. And the health of a human being depends on quite a number of things, but I'm going to specifically talk about 3 of them, as you can see them there on the screen. When it comes to rest, you know, people take resting, that word resting. Sorry, my laptop is misbehaving. Oh my goodness, I hope we are able to finish this. I know what is happening. It has timings. The slides have timings and I was not able to edit that. So mtani ruhusu tu when it messes up. So when you talk about rest, we are saying that everybody needs to have 6 to 8 hours of rest per day. Proper rest, proper sleep, deep sleep. And it's up to you to plan on that, because the world today is a 24-hour economy. So some people work in the night, some people work in the day, some people work there in between. So it's up to you to plan the hours that you need to rest, and you rest well. And you know, when you rest, it means that your body will be able to repair itself, because over time there's damage in the system. The other thing we need to think about seriously is exercise. Sorry, I mentioned that these slides have a timer. I'm sorry about that. So exercise is very critical, because if you're not living an active life, and I want to use that word, if you are probably somebody who loves sitting a lot, I don't want to use a word that is used out there, but you love just sitting and posing and relaxing, that may not be good for you. Every human being needs to be in motion, and you need to be in motion quite a number of hours in a day, up and down, and not to mention, of course, specialized or planned exercise or unplanned exercise like walking, you know, moving up and down the stairs if you're in the office. So we need to exercise and deliberately do so. And that exercise requires to have muscle building and, of course, the cardio part of it. So those things are very important. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your bones. It is said that the people who exercise over time, they age when they have less aches and pains. You know, it will also help you cut weight, because weight is an issue for many people, and especially women. Though even men now, they are getting into that, the weight issues. And of course, when you exercise, you take care of your heart, your circulation, your brain health. You think better, you don't have brain fog. So that is very, very important. We can talk a lot. These lessons can be a whole, you know, like a whole lecture in itself. But then diet. Of course, diet is a very critical part. But before I go to diet, I want to mention that we need to take enough water. I'm not just talking about fluids. I know people say, I take a lot of fluids. But it's good. As you take your fluids, let good water be part of what you take within the day. For women, probably 2 to 3 liters, men 3 liters and above. So it is very critical, and you should be deliberate about that. That water is very, very important. It has its benefits. Please, if you're on this call, it means you are techno-savvy. So what do you need to do? You need to understand what are the benefits of taking enough water, how much water do you need as a person, and probably depending with your age and your gender and all that. And when you don't do that, what happens? One of the things I'm coming to realize with the elderly people, they no longer take enough water. And that in itself can give you challenges. Now let's talk diet. Diet is basically what you put in your mouth. What you put in your mouth, whatever it is, a sweet, some chips, some meat, whatever it is that gets into your mouth, that is diet. But as much as we take diet, what actually our body needs is something called nutrition. nutrition that goes up to the cellular level, the smallest part of your body, to take care of your cells. Then the cells form good tissues, then good tissues form good organs, and healthy organs form healthy systems. And then you have a healthy overall body. So that is very, very important. Now, mentioning about all that, why should we merge all those things together? The water, the diet, the exercise, and the rest. Is because basically a human being wants to be vibrant for as many years as possible. You can be sure we all admire the old generation, the people who are old in their 80s and 90s, and they are active. Actually, we know that when somebody shares something on WhatsApp of an old person who is living a healthy life, we all want to share that, because I believe that is what everybody would want. So the idea is everybody needs to be vibrant up to the ages of 80 plus, 90 plus, because when you start getting sick in your 40s and in your 50s, and then God gives you so many years. Can you imagine you have 30 years of sickness, 40 years of sickness, 20 years, or even 5 years of sickness? Is not good. People want to live a vibrant life. But what is happening today, because of our choices in terms of health and not understanding about health, from 0 to 20 years, of course, people are vibrant. They are being taken care of by their parents. There are systems in place. But once people leave the nest, though even these days parents are not doing well as they should, once people leave the nest from their 20s to their 30s and 40s, wanaachilia, yani they eat just anyhowly, they don't rest the way they should, they don't exercise, they start slowing down on the most important things of life. It could be an issue of maybe you didn't get education, or if you got education about it, you're ignorant, you don't take it keenly because you feel you're okay. But that's when people get to the tired zone. When I came into this space of health, I was in my early 30s. Actually, I was about 30, 31. And I had fatigue, chronic fatigue. And so what basically happened is that when I learned about this, I started going back to the vibrant stage. And to date, many, many years down the line, I feel very, very vibrant. And that is very, very important. Then as the years go by, people get into the sick zone. I'll not go into that. We all know that as people age, there are too many complications. Oh gosh, the complications are many. And our prayer is that we don't get into that space. And I believe that's the reason we are here. And my prayer is we really get serious about it. And so if we are not careful, you find that you go down very fast as the years go down. And if you're not careful, you'll have only enjoyed vibrant years like 20, 30, or 40. The rest of the years, you're tired, you're sick, you're not at your best, or the people around you, for that matter. And so why are we here? We are here because the facts are saying that 95%, actually the scientists are saying 95% of the population, they are eating foods that lack nutrients. I used to wonder, I would see that statistic and I was like, no, it's not possible. With all this food, everywhere you travel, there's a lot of food. And people eat a lot of food. A big budget in the world today goes to feeding humanity. And I would think, no, it's not possible. But do you know, it is a fact. Actually, another fact is 75% are deliberately eating or consuming incorrect food. You know, deliberately. Too much sugar, too much salt, too much fat, too much frizzy drinks, and not to mention drugs and all those other things. And so that's a fact we need to know. So as we look at it, let's see how that can be deliberate or without knowing. The World Health Organization in 2020, that's like 4 years ago, or better, the years before then, they had projected by 2020 that chronic diseases would account to, out of every 4 people who pass on, 3 of them would die because of chronic diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke, respiratory diseases, bone and joint health, obesity, and so many others that are Alzheimer's. There are quite a number of challenges that people are having. And but the system is like, no, it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. So typically, this is how we are supposed to eat on, let me say, simplified manner. You think about your diet, you need to think about, of course, we said physical activity. And in physical activity, you manage your weight so that you don't have obesity or you're not underweight. But when it comes to diet, we need to eat foods that have whole grain. Yani the grains we know, the maize, the wheat, the rice, the oats, all those, they need to be whole in their sense, in their total sense. They have the germ, they have the husk, they have the everything. Nothing should be removed. But that's not the case today. And then the fruits and vegetables should be a variety. You know, we are told you need to eat rainbow color the whole day. All the colors, the rainbow colors, fruits and vegetables. So you find that the fruits and vegetables, that's a story for another day. I don't want to go into those details. We have fruits that are called carotenoids. You can write that word, carotenoids. We have fruits and vegetables called flavonoids. We have vegetables called cruciferous. So in the fruits and vegetables category, we have carotenoids, flavonoids, and cruciferous that have different functions in the body. Hence, that variety. So don't say you eat many bananas, you eat many oranges, you eat many pawpaws. No, 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 no. There should be variety because they do different things in the body. And then proteins, quality protein intake. That's what repairs the damage in the body. That's what creates new cells. You want to live when you're looking younger for longer, take quality proteins, you know? And so the best range of proteins is the white meat and the plant-based proteins. Now, the other animal proteins, the likes of the eggs and the milk and all those types of other meats and animal proteins should be taken moderately, because in them, they could be having too much, maybe fat. Some could potential cholesterol carriers if they are done in excess. And so that is something we need to look out for. Again, the plant-based proteins are alkaline by nature. And an alkaline environment is created by the plant proteins, fruits and vegetables, and the whole grains. Even for digestion is very good. And then fats and sugars, anything that has fat and sugar should be taken in a very minimal way, very little. Or even, if possible, eliminated, because naturally some fruits, vegetables, proteins, and whole grains do have good fats and sugars, natural. But what is happening today, people have inverted this pyramid upside down, as you can see there. We've inverted this pyramid upside down. And instead of eating whole grains, we are doing refined starch, a lot of refined starch. I remember attending a seminar like a week ago, last weekend or something like that. And a doctor was doing a presentation. And he said something that I had never heard. Okay, I know, but he really emphasized it. He said the intake of a lot of rice today is one of the leading causes of diseases like heart disease and diabetes, or even cancer. And I was thinking, and what is the logic behind that? Refined starch from whatever source, because it's already in refined state, it does not have the germ and the husk that will require it to be digested over a long period of time for it to be assimilated, the sugar to be assimilated in the body. So the minute it is refined, then the intake into the bloodstream begins right at the mouth. You know, sugar is digested right from the mouth. And so when it is refined, it's like sugar, whether it is unga ugali, unga chapati, whether it's rice. And digestion is made easier as it goes down to the stomach. And so that means there's a lot of absorption of the sugar to the bloodstream and hence to the other organs. And too much sugar in the body is dangerous. Too much sugar in the body, it's turned into fat. And so the two of them will not bring good balance in the body, and potentially your body becomes acidic. Now it gives an acidic environment. And on top of that, now we eat the proteins that we've said should not be taken in high quantities, especially the ones that are like the meat that is not too kienyeji-like. You know, like there are cows that are fed when they are studying forever, but there are cows that walk for long distances. Those are two different sources of what you ingest in terms of the meat. And anyway, story for another day. So we've inverted this pyramid, and in itself, it's a challenge. So basically what we are seeing over and above that, people are even adding junk into their diet. Too much sugar, too much frizzy drinks. If you look at the supermarkets and the shops, and you look at the frizzy drinks that are in there, and they are being taken in, especially by the younger generation, it's a time bomb waiting to happen. And now more so to the women folk. We are saying the women are the ones who bring forth other lives in the body. And so if you start eating badly when when a child is maybe a young girl, and they're not feeding right, they are going to have a host of many problems that are related to women. And they'll be wondering, why? It's because over the years, since they were kids, they fed on a lot of refined starch, a lot of chapati and mandazi and samosa and you know, all those things, and rice and pilau. And you can do a whole list of, a whole booklet of the things we are eating that we shouldn't eat when they are refined. And because of that, we see there's a gap. And that gap there is now the issue we are here to deal with. That gap you can see there. That gap is deadly, and it is even making the doctors have a very rough time. Because by the time somebody goes to the hospital, because of these deficiencies of a long period of time, or excess in diet of things we shouldn't take, the doctors have a rough time. They have a rough time treating somebody. They can treat you for years until the body snaps and says, I give up. And so, because we are here and God has given us brains, and we've been told ignorance has no defense, and we have been told to seek wisdom and knowledge, that's something you need to take seriously. For yourself, for the people you love, and the people you meet into the future. And that is very, very important for each one of us. So what we are having here, guys, is not just business. What we are having here is a life-changing mission. Only that we are affiliated with a company that totally believes in this. So this company was started as a dream by this young man here. He was born sick, extremely sick with asthma, chronic asthma. And that asthma brought a lot of pain to the family. And because of that pain, and the mother speaking about it, you know, when you're in pain, you speak about it. Somebody showed the mother that something can be done. And the only solution was simple. Mom, you want your child to be well? Increase some bit of vitamin intake and increase some bit of fish oil in his diet and try to feed him better, like we've just spoken. And she did it. And within time, the asthma got cleared completely. And at the age of 19, he goes into a meeting like this one, and he remembers, wow, this is what my mom got introduced into. And he started a global family, a business that would help people to make the world a healthier and a happier place. So this is what we are talking about. And I want to assure you that we are in a good place. Why are we in a good place? Because everything we are going to talk about is totally and thoroughly researched. And it has been put in a lot of research journals. And all these people who are involved in this, there are people who are wamemulikwa by other big organizations in the world, and they are doing things in the best way that they think they should without any compromise. So let's talk about returning back the things we've seen that we are missing in the diet. We've seen that we are not eating whole grains. Whole grains have germ, that germ that grows. You know, the germ part is one that grows to bring forth life in a plant. That's what Tree and N offers you as a supplement. A supplement is not a food substitute. It comes to supplement something that is not being given in the diet on a daily basis. And so you try to eat the best you can, and then you supplement with that, and then you become healthier than you should have potentially been. And so what will Tree and N do for you? Tree and N will repair your cells. You see that unhealthy cell right there? Most of us, we have unhealthy cells because we are eating a lot of refined starch. So what Tree and N will do, because it's that jump from the whole grains, it will open the cell membrane and nutrition. Remember, we say there's a difference between diet and nutrition. The nutrition that is needed right at the cellular level gets in better, and the waste goes out, and even the DNA is well protected. But vice versa, if we are not eating well, you have an unhealthy cell, which develops into another unhealthy cell, and eventually you have organs and systems. So Tree and N is a good thing for you. Was formed in 1958, and it's been kind of like patented. Let me say, because nobody else has ever produced it since 1958. And it's been helping millions and millions of people all over the world. I included 22 years down the line. Okay, then we have, remember we talked about the fruits and the vegetables. We talked about fruits called carotenoids, flavonoids, and cruciferous. Just to mention one, the carotenoid part of it. This is made from all the carotenoids that boost your immunity. Once your immunity is high, your body is able to fight disease, whatever kind of disease it is. Whatever system you have, it benefits a lot from the carotenoids. And so this carotenoid complex is patented. It's a world first. And one bottle of carotenoid potentially has 115 kgs of raw fruits and vegetables. And that gives you an instant immune boost like that. In 20 days, your body is doing so well and it can fight so much. That is that. Then, of course, we look at the oils, the fish oil. We all need to take fish oil, all of us. Fish oil is not just for pregnant women and the children. No, no, no. Every one of us needs omega-3. Remember, our eating habits, when we've inverted the pyramid we saw, we get a lot of inflammation inside the body. You see, when you get hurt and you get a wound, and the wound is looking so ugly and red and sore, that also happens within us. And that so happens to a lot of women as well. As we go to the women health, So omega-3 is for everybody. And when you're shopping for an omega, please get an omega that has a family of 8. You can see them there. Most omegas in the market, they have EPA and DHA, and maybe ALA, or maybe DHA. You find it has 2 or 3, and very small quantities. The mgs are kidogo. But you need to shop for something that has the family of 8, and then it is clinically tested for any harmful things like mercury, because the fish has potential to take in a lot of toxins from the ocean, from the seas, from the rivers. Most fishes potentially can take a lot of those chemicals. And so that's another thing you have to be very careful about. And so this is clinically tested. It's ultra pure and it has a balance of the 8. Then, of course, you need a balance of the vitamins and the minerals. Vitamins and the minerals, because if you remember your biology well, we have the vitamins that are called water soluble, oil soluble. We have minerals that are called macro. We have the micronutrients, and we have the trace minerals. Any disparity in any of those things I've mentioned about, you are in serious trouble. Did you know if you miss a trace mineral called iodine, whether a man or a woman, you will get something we call goiter. You can get goiter. And goiter can either be outward or inward. And so it is very, very important to know that whether it's a trace mineral, a macro, a micro, or the vitamins we've talked about, all enzymes. Enzymes are very important for diet. You need that balance. And so this multivitamin has that proper balance, and it has the enzymes and some bit of proteins that are very good to bridge the gap, the dietary gap. And so with that, we have a power pack called Pro Vitality. So that is basically general health for everybody. You can start out with your Pro Vitality. And if you feel probably you're given the pricing and it's not very friendly to your pocket at that particular time, you can start with the 3NN, okay? Or the 3NN and the multi, you see? These two, you can start out, then the rest follow later. But with Pro Vitality, you have a power pack and it's for everybody. If you know anyone who is unwell and you give them Pro Vitality for 3 months in a row, oh my goodness, you will have testimony over testimony. And then now you look at the specific of what else they can add to that. Now let's go to women from the age of 0 to the age of, I don't know, 100. Pregnancy needs. You know, women carry the babies. But do you know what? Before you get a baby, if you're a father here, or you're a mother, or you're a young girl, or you have a sister, you need to know that these girls need to prepare themselves before pregnancy. And you know the most funny thing, most women get pregnant without having to plan for it. It just happens. You find that something, it happened, I don't know. And so people need to be healthy even before they engage into the act of that can make you pregnant. And in that area, one of the most important things needed is the vitamin B complex. And most importantly, the folic acid in the vitamin B. Why is that important? It prevents getting an abnormal child. You know, most abnormalities that happen in a child, so sad these things happen, could be potentially because the mother lacked folic acid. And that is why most gynecologists will give a woman the first 3 months, they'll give folic acid, or better still, the B complex. If you can do the entire complex of the B1, B2, B6, B12, and all those others, they have quite a number of names. It is very important. The first 3 months, very, very important. They also need vitamin D and calcium and magnesium. Remember, when a child is being formed, all those things will be required because this child has to form. Eventually, the mother has to be strong enough to have all those things. Now we are talking about the mother to be able to gawia mtoto, as even when it's a fetus moving on, to give the child some of these things without her being left with deficiencies herself. You see? So that is very, very important. Something else women need to have is iron, because iron brings in a lot of anemia, a lot of tiredness, and those many challenges. And of course, omega-3. High amounts of omega-3 for a woman preparing to get a baby will get a baby who is very well developed with eyes, brain, sex organs, and the heart organs, and the general wellness of a baby. Especially if a mother is asthmatic, comes from an asthmatic family, they need enough omega so that that asthma is not transferred to the child. That one you can take it to the bank. Most children who are asthmatic, they actually pick it from the genetics of either the father or the mom. And so that thing can be altered and corrected early enough. So those are the mentions we've done for pre-pregnancy: vitamin B, calcium, multimineral because of the broad spectrum of all the vitamins needed, and the salmon oil. With the multimineral, you'll get even the iron in there that we've talked about. Then moving forward, let's talk about the first 0 to 20 years of a girl. From the meat now, when a mother is pregnant, she'll continue with some of those products. They can bring down the B complex and do the multivitamin, which could be having some amount of the B complex. And then now, once the baby is born, and whether now it's a girl, we are talking about women health now, there should be a proper balance of vitamins and minerals. As I said earlier, most of us are feeding especially the girl child, with a lot of foods that have a lot of chemicals, and some, they have a lot of hormones, hormonally induced foods, like the chicken, some fish, and there are those things that are in the supermarket. And I want to put a disclaimer here and a warning at the same time. Kindly, if you're on this call, desist giving your children treated meat. Let me mention that line of treated meat. The smokies, the sausages, the chipolatas, I used to give my children these things, I even forgot. Nyama bites, the brawns, those things we put in between the bread and the spreads and everything, the burgers. If you can avoid those things, please start today. The pizzas, all those things, they have a lot of chemicals, and the ones I've mentioned actually are treated in nitrate. And that's why you see they have a funny color, which is pinkish. And that is a potential cancer causer, and it's not fair for the children. No matter how you love them, those things are good, yes. I am a victim, and I learned this early, and I stopped it. So it is up to you to make that decision, especially for your baby girl. That one, I beg, I beg, I beg. So in that area of 0 to 13 is when the kids are growing up, their brain. And remember, this girl now is growing the womb. They have the ovaries. They have all those things that are, they're going to come and form up and blow out. And you want a girl who is healthy. And we want them not to get mature very early. Girls are getting mature at the age of 7. You see a girl at 7, 8, they have breasts. And that's not fair. They can get pregnant. Oh my goodness. So you want that child to grow and lengthen that time. But if you feed them badly and they lack some of these things, you find that puberty sets in very early and they go through a lot of cramping and PMS. Those who don't know what PMS is, it's premenstrual stress. And it's a very hard time for a girl. Some girls have cramping. In fact, in most schools for girls, they have a sick bay. Where the sick bay, when girls have those cramps, they will actually spend 3 days there because they can't even concentrate in class. They are bleeding too much, or even some are having their periods skip, and they think it is good that they're not having a period. If your periods are skipping, even as a young girl, as a mother, you need to always find out, don't assume, because that is a sign of something very bad. And that's how you find now, it's at this point, if you don't take care of the girl, fibroid starts coming in and cysts. All those things, and once they get to the point of getting a baby, people are getting a lot of miscarriages. Can you imagine a miscarriage happening because of hormonal imbalance? It's a very delicate balance, but it's good we are knowing right now. So this is very, very important for even a young girl who is growing up, and we are parents. So we have a host of them right there. You don't have to worry about the products looking many there. Just know you can do the bare minimum. Like for a child, any child 0 or 6 months, the young ones can do Liquivite because it's a liquid. And the ones who can chew, or maybe you can crush and put in their food, you can do Vita Squares. My kids grew up with Vita Squares and VitaGuard. Now, this is the 3NN of the children and the multi, a combination of that. This is the carotenoid and the flavonoids for the children. Very, very important. Omega is, no discussion. No discussion whatsoever. The older ones, 13 to 20, need calcium for their bone mass and for the cramping, preventing that cramping. They need salmon oil for inflammation, especially during their periods, and also for their brain development. They're in school, or even the Formula 4 with iron. That's very, very important. Then we have 20 to 50 years. That age, we see a lot of hormonal imbalance happening. We see a lot of infertility. By the way, infertility is on the rise. It's a worrying trend because if a woman wants a baby, she wants a baby so bad. If a woman wants a baby, it is inborn. They want it so bad because if they don't get the baby, it becomes a very hard time for them. Very hard time for them. So that hormonal imbalance is very important. Because when you have hormonal imbalance, you can actually have several abortions. No, they're called miscarriages, not abortions. And then, of course, we've talked about the infertility. You know, infertility is becoming very common. Then, of course, at this point, there's the issue of obesity. People are getting obese. And if you're feeding your child badly from birth, they could have obesity right from the childhood, and it becomes more difficult to handle, especially when a child gets it when they are young. It becomes very, very difficult. And then, of course, the reduction of bone density. As the years go by, the absorption of calcium is inhibited, and so they have a problem of bone density. They lose their teeth. They start having brittle bones. You know, more women break their hands and their legs, their hip bones more than men. But of course, even men get that. Even during childbirth, there's a lot of challenges, you know, and you don't want that. Mood swings, we all know. We all know that at that time of the month, that is when your mother shouts most. And she will shout for a whole week. And you're wondering, what just happened? It's not her fault, oh. It's not her fault. It's just what is happening in her body. Even her herself, she gets surprised at herself. Of course, the skin also, it reduces the radiance. Because as you grow older, when you're lacking that nutrition, that's a challenge. Then we have a lot of challenges of cysts and fibroids. They grow, some very big, some small, but no matter the size of a cyst or a fibroid, it's not healthy for the body. It's something foreign and it's not healthy, and the doctors will want it taken care of. Either it is minimized or it is removed. And so you need to know that we have things that can help that. I talked about the cruciferous fruits. If you can start cruciferous fruits early and the cruciferous tablets themselves, they actually minimize the growth of any growth of cysts and fibroids, especially when they are young. If they are bigger, you'd need to really invest seriously to be able to handle that. Infertility can also be brought because of weight. I have somebody some years ago who was very big. She went on the weight loss program and she conceived. And we were like, voila, it looked like magic. Sometimes when you are weighty and the passage of the, you know, the eggs and everything can be inhibited by the fatty deposits in the body, that in itself can render somebody to be infertile, but they are not. It's just the weight part. Then thyroid, the thyroid challenges are there. You know, lack of iodine. That I told you about the hyper and hypothyroidism. It's a big problem, and that problem makes people take medication sometimes for life. And it's not fair. It's something that can be sorted out. So with that, I'll just mention a few of the things that can sort that. We talked about Provitality. It's a good base for everyone. If you feel Provitality is a little bit pricey, go for what we call the Formula 4. You know, the Formula 4 has the Trienen and the multi. And then, of course, we've talked about cruciferous. My goodness, this product is magical. This one has broccoli, it has cabbage, it has radish, it's quite a concoction, soy that is very healthy. And so this one will be able to eat up any growth or prevent any growth that come within the body that you can't see, so that it is arrested early. We've talked about hormonal imbalance. Every woman once a year should do feminine herbal. Feminine herbal to balance. We all lose our balance as women. And if you find you have challenges with the balance and you don't take care of it early, you will have early menopause and it will be very prolonged for a long time. Sometimes a woman can have menopause for 10 to 15 years, where they are having a lot of sweatiness, a lot of challenges. And so doing feminine herbal early, from when a girl is maybe in their teens, once in a while, it's very, very important. If you already have the hormonal imbalance, please do something consistent for 3 to 6 months to actually sort out that problem, and watch your diet. Cut out the fats and the sugars and the frizzy drinks and bad oils. You find that eventually your body will do you good. For the weight loss, we have the shake and the tea. The NeoLife shake and the tea does a good job. You cut your weight slowly and properly. You need to cut your weight systematically. It should never be drastic. If it's drastic, it's going to hurt your organs and it's very dangerous. So with the shake, it will be gradual and then it will return the muscles back the way they are supposed to be. You'll not be left with sagging skin, you know. So that's very important. The tea and the shake and the Pro-Vitality, that gives the weight loss and is very important. And of course, every woman needs calcium now and again. We are very low on our calcium because the need for calcium is high and we hardly meet it. And that deficit prolonged over time can be a mess to a woman. So that is very, very important. And coming to the tail end, 50 and above. 50 and above, these are people who've lived their life, they have money, but sometimes they don't have health at all. You know, and this is where most degenerative diseases set in: cancer, diabetes, bone and joint health, heart disease, menopause, skin. That's when now you start wondering, hey, my skin is sagging. And then, of course, getting the wrinkles. And of course, here, man, it's challenging for a woman. And the hair starts falling out. My goodness. And so for this, and it's harder to cut weight as you grow older. So the earlier we work on that, the better. And so because these women have money, they need to go all out. All out. Forget about the daily vitality. It's not in the market right now. So let's think Pro-Vitality Feminine. That's a very good combination. This is fantastic combination for a woman. Not to forget the calcium, not to forget the cruciferas. Some of these things like cruciferas, you don't have to do on a monthly basis. You can do alternation, on and off, on and off. And of course, now we are saying the weight loss is for that specific person who really needs to cut weight or maintain weight. Probably you've been starving yourself, not eating some meals in the office. You can carry your shake as a meal. It will be healthy, it will give you all the vitamins and minerals, and you not add calories. So this can be considered as a lunch break, a meal like lunchtime, or even dinner, you know. So that is what we may have. There may be other additions depending with the challenges we have, specific challenges. And of course, for women, it's a no-brainer. Skin. I mean, if you can afford it, please go for the Nutrients skincare. It's a set of 4. So we have forget about the makeup remover. It has the cleanser, the balancing tonic, the serum. Man, this is a healer. And then the moisturizer. Of course, there are others, like even the one for the Easter eye gel for this area of the skin, the eye part of it. And we have the cream. We have a rejuvenating cream for people who want to prevent wrinkles or they already have them, be consistent with it for a while. So this is a fantastic set for women, okay? And men can use it as well. Men can use it as well. And all the products I've talked about can also be used by men, except the feminine herbal. Because for men, they do have the masculine herbal. So for me, it's adios for now. I'm super excited. I didn't intend to have this meeting take this long, but I want to tell you guys that this is really exciting that we were here and we were able to spend time together. The 146 of us, I hope we've learned something. This should just be the beginning. There's so much more. If we were to learn about every product, it can take a full hour. The do's and don'ts, the whys, the missing. Let's not have deficiencies. Remember the money you make. Your body should be the one that, it's not your house. I see people, they furnish their houses with very expensive things. But when it comes to your body, you want to logicalize. It's expensive. Compared to what? Your washing machine, your car that you service and give fuel every time. The non-living things like land and buildings, your body comes first. So thank you very much, guys. Adios for now. I hope that each one of us, the little thing I have said, you can be able to duplicate to 10 women. And I know you can do that in assistance with the person who has invited you here. If you are a guest, my final parting shot, if you are a guest, you can never lose anything by being part of NeoLife. You will gain a lot because we learn a lot. We learn about our health from head to toe. And we haven't talked about the cleaning detergents that we use in the house. They affect women's health a lot and men's health. We haven't gone there. We haven't talked about farming yet. The farming and how it's affecting us. So guys, thank you so much. I'm super excited. If Freddie would want to give a parting shot, over to you, and much obliged. Thank you so much. There are many other benefits. Freddie can mention the other benefits. Asanteni sana.
Fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing, amazing, amazing. We are truly excited about that. Thank you so much, Gladys, for that. And as usual, you brought it home very nicely, and we truly appreciate. And there we have it. So for us is to take action. Take action. The best thing to do is to become part of NeoLife. Start buying these products for yourself and really enjoy that lifestyle. Me, I always say this, whether you're going to do the business or not, start with your health. And starting with your health is becoming a part of NeoLife, being able to access these products at wholesale price and enjoying these products and making a difference in your own life and in the lives of the people around you. So we've come to the end of the session, and thank you so much, Gladys, for that session. This recording will be available a little bit later today so that you can be able to share it with a friend, a neighbor, a cousin out there. Don't keep the information to yourself. Light another candle. Gladys has lit our candle, all the 146 members who are on this call. And it is the honors is upon us to go and share this with another 146 and even more, so that you can change people's lives and ensure that people live a longer, healthier life. So thank you all. If you want to know more about the business part of it, tomorrow we'll be here again on this call, on this link, and we will be with our leader, Pascal Olo, at 8 p.m. Kenyan time, and he'll be going through on how you can be able to make money with NeoLife. But it is a fantastic, fantastic opportunity for you. You will make money. You'll get to travel the world. You'll get to enjoy lifestyle. You will join a community of positive people who are focused on matters health, on how to live a longer, healthier life. And you'll be able to avoid and even reverse many of the lifestyle diseases that have affected so many of us. So without further ado, I want to call it a day. I want to wish you a restful rest of the evening. And we will be back again next Sunday when we'll be tackling a different aspect of health. We'll be having a different speaker, and keep it locked. Next Sunday, invite a friend. If all of us, the 146 members who came, if you all invite just one person, then we'll be over 300 people and we will double our impact. So invite a friend along next week to come and listen in and learn more about matters health. So thank you so much. God bless you and have a restful Sunday evening. Bye-bye.